Saw dudes, I'm finally back to Destiny 2. As you'll see in the footage, I'm a bit rusty. Today's build is for Strand Warlocks and focuses on creating as many threadlings as possible to have them do all the dirty work. Since they kill enemies so fast, I endearingly nicknamed them Facehuggers from the Alien series. This build leverages the Wishkeeper exotic Strandbow and the Swarmer's exotic boots to keep enemies at bay and produce even more alien babies. You'll have a ton of fun with this build, and it works without seasonal mods. With that out of the way, let's get started. The Gameloop is pretty flexible for this build. You can use Wishkeeper, finishers, your class ability, or destroyed tangles to spawn threadlings. Once you have threadlings taking care of adds, you can lay back and charge a snare trap on Wishkeeper. Fire it on priority targets and use your special and heavy weapon to lay into them. Always try to use finishers on chunky targets to spawn more threadlings and to get a breather. Rinse and repeat. Needlestorm is the Facehugger factory and also serves as our kill everything button. I like Healing Rift on this build because it provides more safety in dangerous situations. I don't think the damage buff from Empowering Rift is necessary. Of course, we can only use Arcane Needle in the melee slot. This will unravel targets and prime them to create tangles. Finally, I chose to use Grapple in the grenade slot. This will synergize with our aspects, but is otherwise just a great movement tool. The alien aspects for today's setup are Mindspun Invocation and Weaver's Call. Mindspun Invocation causes grapple melees to create 3 threadlings. This will drastically increase our AoE and single target damage. Weaver's Call causes Riftcast to create 3 threadling eggs that deploy any perched threadlings. The fragments for this build are Thread of Evolution, Finality, Generation, and Warding. Evolution causes threadlings to travel 30% faster and deal 33% more damage. Finality causes finishers to spawn threadlings based on the combatant rank. Generation grants grenade ability energy for each damage instance, with the amount varying on the damage source. Lastly, Thread of Warding grants Woven Mail for 10 seconds upon picking up an Orb of Power. Time to cover the Predator gear. On the helmet, I used Harmonic Siphon, Dynamo, and Special Ammo Finder. For the gloves, I went with Heavy-Handed, Focusing Strike, and Bolstering Detonation. The bathrobe had melee damage resistance and 2 variable resistance mods. On Swarmers, I chose to go with Recuperation, Innervation, and Absolution. And on the Predator armband, there was Utility Finisher, Reaper, and Proximity Ward. Although you can camp with this build, there are some reasons to move in and be more aggressive. I suggest chasing Tier 8 Resilience. This will drop the amount of damage taken and work well with Woven Mail provided by Thread of Warding. Next up, try to get to Tier 8 Discipline for constant grapple uptime. The rest of your points can be put into Recovery for even lower Rift cooldowns. You really want to lower your grenade and rift cooldowns to ensure that you have threadlings at your beck and call. If you enjoy Warframe and Destiny 2 content, please consider subbing. It helps me out a ton. And with that out of the way, let's cover the one weapon loadout I have for you guys. As I said at the start of the video, we will be using Wishkeeper along with Iterative Loop and Thin Precipice. Wishkeeper is going to be our threadling generator and main crowd control tool. Hitting precision shots and killing enemies with this bow charges up a Snare Weaver arrow, which creates a trap upon hit firing. Wishkeeper is a craftable weapon, meaning that we can optimize it for our needs. The roll I suggest crafting is Elastic Bowstring, Compact Arrow Shaft, Polymer Grip, and Hatchling Refit. This setup drastically reduces draw time and reload duration, which increases how many arrows we can throw out in a set period. You'll be able to spawn a ton of threadlings and throw out predator snares constantly. Iterative Loop will be our close to mid-range weapon. I mainly use it to take down priority targets and apply Jolt for quick melting. I use an Arrowhead Break, Liquid Coils, Lead from Gold, and Volt Shot roll with a Charge Time Masterwork. This gun is especially potent on this loadout because it stacks Jolt with Unravel. Both statuses drastically increase the damage targets take. Threadlings automatically unravel targets thanks to Swarmers, so all we have to do is reload Iterative Loop after a kill to proc Volt Shot for Jolt status. Finally, we come to Thin Precipice, a Strand Vortex Frame sword that I love to recommend. This weapon will be our final threadling spawner and light ad clear tool. The role I use in all my builds is Hungry Edge, Balanced Guard, Relentless Strikes, and Chain Reaction. However, for this loadout, I suggest swapping out Chain Reaction for Hatchling, which gives it additional synergy for the setup. Having a sword for this loadout is perfect since it gives us a close range damage option as well as a damage mitigation source. And that is all for the build. I realize this build is a bit risky to play, but I find it hilarious to run. With everything put together, we have 7 methods of spawning Facehuggers: Wishkeeper, Grapple, Healing Rift, Tangles, Needlestorm, Finishers, and Thin Precipice. What you may call excessive, I call genius. I'm just kidding, I think it's stupid, but that's why I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thank you all for watching, and happy farming.